Thanks for stopping by. Today I will show you how to create a basic rock groove and arrangement using Logic Pro, so stick around. Alright, so I've set up a new project. And for now, keeping everything at the default setting, so tempo 120, key signature. This I will change. I like working in the key of E minor. And so this example will be in the key of E minor. Here we go. Choose that. 120. Keep the sample rate at 48. That's my preference. And so now the first thing I do is I almost always start with a drum beat to inspire my riff generating creative mindset, if you will. In this case, this is choose here. Let's go to the drum kit designer and choose stereo, and it will choose a drum kit for me, and then I can change it later, right? So let's create. So the drum kit that it's given me here is one sec here, it's taking a little longer than normal. All right, I'll double click on that. There we go. It's giving me the default setting. I want to choose a heavy kit. Let's go with a heavy kit since this is a rock groove. And so all right, so that's the sound. Let's see here. Let's stop this. The next thing I do is I turn on the arrangement, the arrangement on the track, and I'll explain that in a moment. And then I also turn on the chord track. All right, here we go. And so I almost always start with the basic intro, verse, and chorus. And the reason why I like to set this up is when using some of the functionality which I'll be using today, one which is the session player. If I have the intro, verse, chorus set up, it actually automatically creates everything that I'm looking for unless I specify something different, in which case I won't with this example. But once we get there, I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right. Now, when it comes to creating a beat, I almost always start with 4 bars, sometimes 2, depends on how complex I want to get. And we're at 120 here, so let's keep the beat basic. I'll try. Sometimes I get a little carried away. Here we go. All right, so there we go. Slightly off, so I almost always quantize just in the initial stages of writing. All right, there we go. Okay, so now we have a basic beat to work with. And so let's go ahead and recreate, let's create this beat throughout the entire section, which is 24 bars. I've taken the 2 clips together and I'm hitting Command J to join them, and then Command Repeat, Command R. That will repeat that drum beat for the next 24 bars. All right. Okay, so now that we have that in place, I just make the screen a little smaller here, and I will extend this. And next is I start with the bass line after I do a guitar riff. And the guitar riff I'm working on will simply be in the first 8 bars. So the next thing I do is I go to track, new tracks, click on under audio, guitar or bass. And then because I'm working with a heavy rock type of drum beat, I'll use a distortion sound. I almost always use classic drive. Just one of my preferences, and then later on I go ahead and make some changes once I've done my recording. So now the next step is creating a ghost guitar track that I will use to create the bass line. All right, so hang in there for one moment. Okay, I'm back, and now so I'm turning this on, and so I like to just jam a little bit, just to come up with some ideas. riff I'm going to work with. Let's press record. So now I'm back, and so now let's get a bass line here. Now before I do my bass line, I like to come up with a chord arrangement. Alright, so you'll notice that I go from an E to a G passing note. Alright, make this a little bigger here. So the G, I'm hitting the G right here on the 16th note, the 4th 16th note. So this is where I will select the pencil tool, and you know what I forgot to do here is to ungroup this section here. So one sec. I want the marker track, so let's remove it. So hide the, there we go. All right, so I want to add the G right there. And so working with the root note, and in the key of E minor, G major is right there. Okay. There we have an A, right? So here's an A major. G. Once you figure out how to use this, I believe the A is right there, okay? So this is part of the arrangement functionality. Add the chords. And we'll add the E minor here. And what I tend to do sometimes, so since I already know that this first part will get repeated here, Command R. All right, so you hear a C in here. Right there. C right here. So we'll go back to the pencil, and we'll use the C major. And then the D. That's the riff. This is the root notes of the riff that I'm playing. So let's make it a little smaller here. Move this back. Give you an idea what this sounds like, or looks like. Right. All right. Now, just going to do Command R, which repeats that entire section. Now, so here's the magic I'm talking about before, with regard to the reason why you want to create these chords, or if you have the chords in there, it works great when creating a bass line. All right, so I'm going back to track, new session player. I want to choose a bass player. And so this time let's go with the slap bass, see what that sounds like. We can make some edits as required. And you'll notice that it created, enough. If I had I selected the entire 24 bars, it would have created the entire, all 3 sections. But because I only had I was highlighted up to beat 13, or the end of beat 12. And what I'm doing here is I'm just, for the sake of this demonstration, keeping it very simple. Let's listen to the bass line, see how that sounds. All right, if I solo that with the drum kit. But I think this is too busy with the riff that I came up with. So rather than cut and splice this, so if you notice, if I cut this, you'll notice that things start to change within the AI generated clip. I don't want that. So I'm undoing that by hitting Command Z. What I want to do is remove some of the bass parts and kind of set up a call and answer type of sound. So what I do is I go to Control, select, and I convert this to a MIDI file. And from here, I already know that from here, I don't want this first section. Right, so as you can see, I'm pulling some of this together here. Just delete all this. Let's get rid of those. That didn't sound too bad. But I don't like this here. I think it just sounds a little too busy. And if you are working with the AI generated bass feature session player, it's good to kind of go in and make changes. That way it becomes more personalized to what you are working on as a creator. Let's get rid of that. I think I have what I want. Okay, just a little bit too much here. Let's take that out. So that sounds like. So what I also like to do is add more guitar parts. I'm a guitar player, so it would be expected. And this is really how I like to kind of warm up a bit. I'm using the same sound, so I'm clicking on this button here, which will duplicate the sound that I've already chosen. I will just slightly pan each. Right, here we go. Right. I've shown you how to create a basic drum groove, use the arrangement feature, use the chord feature, and demonstrated how to create a bass line and do some basic edits to kind of take that AI generated bass line and make it more personal. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like, and I will see you in the next video. All right, have a great day.